Welcome back to New to Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin, and coming to you today to go over a reflection of my 3 months in the industry. I did one right when I got in a couple weeks after, and I wanted to come to you today to kind of go over the last 3 months, kind of what's changed, what my reflection is, and then also like any advice I can give to you. Before we jump on, I do again want to go over, I have created an ebook because I was getting a lot of emails and reached out to just about how I broke in, how I was able to get 4 offers from top 30 companies. And so I made an ebook going into great detail of, how I did it. I put examples of messages that I sent out. I put the steps that I did. I go into the interview process, questions that I saw, questions that I asked. I came with my business plan. I put my business plan in there. So just wanted to provide value to everybody. And every question I was getting asked, I wanted to make something that you guys could see. And if you're a visual person, I have that. So that will be in the link below or in the description if you guys are listening or watching on YouTube. And if you guys are, could you please press that like and subscribe button on YouTube? And if you guys are listening on the podcast, a 5-star review helps us go a long way to grow and help more people. But jumping into it, going over my 3-month review or reflection. So after I talked to you guys last time with the 3 weeks into it, I was really overwhelmed. There was a lot going on. I was going through trainings, which trainings are 8 hours a day by themselves. Plus, you're trying to learn everything that you're going to need for the job while you're still running cases and doing the job. So it was just a lot all to handle all at once. And I always told people drinking from a fire hose. And I went into a little more description of that last time of like, hey, you're getting so much information, it's hard. The best way to explain it now after 3 months, over 90 days in the industry, it's drinking from a fire hose, but less water. There's still a lot to learn. There's still things I'm learning every single day, but it's not as much, one of the things I mentioned on was just trying to navigate a hospital, like if you're going in and you're going into 20 different facilities, you got to learn each facility and you got to know where, SPD is or where, the person you need to talk to is. And so each hospital, or facility you go to is laid out so different. So when you're brand new and you're trying to learn all the information of like your product and, who your competitors are and all that good stuff, but then you're trying to learn the hospital and where to take your equipment and who you need to talk to and just that process. It was just a lot to handle. And now, I go to my accounts. It's super easy, right? I've been there a dozen times. I know where I'm going now. So it's not like always looking so lost and trying to figure out where I am. And if it is that, maybe it's once or twice. It's not every single time you walk into a facility. So that has been a lot easier for me. Also, just going into number one when I go into it is just learning that you got to control what you can control. As you're going to learn, as you guys break in, as you're going through this process, you can only do so much. So for myself, I put a lot of expectations on myself, but there's only so much I can actually do. There's only so many times I can reach out. There's only so many times that I can do things. So I have to learn, control what you can control, make the best effort at that, and then, just be happy with that. Again, you're never satisfied, but just understanding this is the long game. And this is something I had to come learn too, is we're playing for the long haul. You're not trying to win the first quarter. You're trying to win the game, right? And so that was something that I kind of told myself going into this process and learning more is, I'm trying to win this whole game. So just controlling what you can control. I always just, again, kill people with kindness, be reliable, responsible, do the right thing, show that you're knowledgeable, be educated on your product, do everything that you can do to be the best rep. And then again, it's just going to take time, and that's anything great takes time. You're not going to build relationships overnight. Just think about any relationship that's great. It takes time and you get to know somebody, you have experiences with each other. So especially going in, being a new rep, wherever you guys are at, just understand it's not going to happen overnight. And that's something that, as I'm learning through this process, it's just like, hey, I'm going to control what I can control today, go through it. But again, what can I do today that's going to help me 3, 6, 9 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, and just start playing the long haul instead of just today. Number 2, this one was pretty tough at first, is don't take anything personal. And the reason I say this is, as you guys will learn, you're going to be in cases where you might get snipped at or things are going, and a lot of times it's not even at you. If it's a stressful case, you might get swore at a little bit, and if your product isn't doing exactly what they want, or there's some things going through that, and you just can't take it personal. Like at the end of it, everybody's always so, oh, sorry about that, I apologize, or any of that. Or it's also like if you're working with employees that maybe they're having a rough day and they take it out on you. Everything you do, you can't take it personal. You just have to let it slide off you, because there are going to be those doctors that, and those clients that they can be rude and they can be mean and they can take it out on you, and you're just the punching bag. And, if you can just take the punches, live another day, you'll see them again. So that's the thing I just try to encourage you guys after doing that. That's another takeaway I've had is, don't take anything personal. Again, and you're new. So don't be afraid to play the new card. You're trying to learn so much, and there's a lot of times like I don't want to say the wrong thing. So, and you don't want to lead people on like with the false evidence or false information. So you guys do want to make sure you know your stuff. So I would always be like, hey, I apologize, I'm new. I will find out and I'll get right back to you with that. So just something for you guys. Again, number 2 is don't take anything personal, because it's going to be ups and downs. It's just like the interview process. I tell everyone it's a roller coaster ride. And honestly, every day in sales, medical device sales, it's a roller coaster ride. There's some days you're on cloud 9 and you're like, awesome. And there's other days you just drop to the bottom and you're like, holy moly, what's going on? So I just encourage you guys, don't take anything personal as you're doing this job. You just do the best you can, and just try to stay as positive as possible, because again, it's the long haul. You're just getting your foot in the door. That's something I've had to tell myself as well going into it. Number 3, this one has been great, especially during the times we're in, especially with COVID, is be creative for getting in front of people. The number one thing is when I try to go cold call or I'm going to talk to people, they'll shut you down because they're like, oh, it's COVID. But can you do other things that can get you in front of people? Maybe it's a lunch via Zoom. Maybe it's, doing a handout that goes into detail. Maybe it's like there's so many different things that you can do to get your product or yourself in front of someone, and you just got to be creative. And then also how you approach that. I think that's another thing that I've learned is instead of going at maybe one person, maybe you kind of open it up to the group and say, hey, I want to service all you guys instead of just this one person. And that can go a long way. So just get creative when you guys are going into it. That's something I've learned during this process is each facility is different, but especially during COVID, it's easy to say, hey, we're not letting any reps in here. We're not letting anybody come in here. And you got to get creative. You got to be like, how can I get in front of these doctors or whoever your client is? So that would be something I would look on. Number 4, I kind of touched on this already, is just trusting the process. Again, this is something I came to the realization the first 30 days when I was stressed and I was thinking about it. I'm a person who puts big goals on myself. Like my goal was to break in 6 months. I was able to do that. My goal was to get with a top medical device company, was able to do that. Like I set big goals and I go after them. And so once I was in here, I had a lot of big goals that I was setting for myself, in which I'm already stressed as it was. And like now I'm putting even more stress on something that I'm putting on myself. Which again, I think there's a time for it, and you need to do that, but also understand, like I've said, is you got to realize it's the long haul. Like, am I doing stuff that's going to help my business in 2, 3, 4 years? And that's something that I've really had to come to grips to, and just trusting the process, do the right things, reaching out to people that are in it, working with trainers, field sales trainers, working with people that you have that can help you, working with your network, with people that have been in there a long time, and just trusting them, like do what they say. If there's someone that's been proven with success, talk with them, learn from them, and be like, hey, what'd you do? And start trying some of those things, and just understand you're probably not going to have those quick results. So we're going to have to work on it over time. So that's just something I really have been like for myself, but I think it would help you guys, whoever's watching, is, trust the process. It's easy to be like, I want it today. I want it now. I want to see the results tomorrow. And just know something I was told by one of the guys I used to work for is, do something today that's going to pay you in 5 years. And that's been a great thing, I think, to put in this process. Again, hopefully it's not 5 years, but going in with that mindset, are you doing something that is going to benefit you, your territory, your business today, that's going to, a year from now, 2 years, 3 years from now, that they're going to be like, oh yeah, I want, this rep at my surgery, or I want this product, So I think that's something to start thinking about when you guys are in it. And then going into number 5 is just continuing to network. I still am reaching out to reps. I'm still talking to new people because, again, they're in it. They're seeing a different side. And also, they can help you. Maybe you have a common account and you guys can help each other out. So I would just continue to give you guys that network. Those would be my reflections on it, is what you can do after your 3 months. That's what I've learned during it, but also just going now, digging deeper into the experience. I kind of gave my list of things to do once you're in the industry and what I would suggest to continue to grow. But I just want to be real and talk with you guys. The first month was a lot of overwhelming stuff. Now it's not as bad, right? So I'm 3 months in, I'm over 90 days in. I've started to get the processes. I know my product. I know my objections. I know that stuff that I was trying to learn so much at the beginning. So now it's a lot easier. And when I made that 3 week, I think I talked about I would wake up at 5 in the morning and be working nonstop till 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Maybe just take a little break to eat and work out. But it was just so much. My head hurt because I was staring at screens all day. To now it's an average day for me is I start my day around 4 in the morning. Well, I don't around. My alarm goes off at 4 a.m. So I start my day at 4 o'clock in the morning. But that's just because I'm a psycho and that's what time I like to wake up to go work out. So I go work out, get to the gym around 4:45, 5. I work out. I get done around 6, 6:30. I come home, I eat. My day will start getting going in cases around 7, 7:30. And then, I'm going till around, 5, 6 o'clock. And then I'm really going into networking and doing other stuff. Again, I don't just stop, but it wasn't as intense as it was before. There are the nights where it's hey, it's 6 o'clock. It was a good day. I'm going to just hang out now, So just encouragement to you, at the beginning, it can seem like a lot, especially if you're trying to break in and you're oh, it's tough to break in. It's really tough the first couple of months because you're trying to learn it. And I tell people it's still tough. And I know it's going to be tough for the first 6 months to a year to 2 years. I'm learning every single day. And that's one thing I've just kept touching on is you got to be open to learning. You got to be open to, talking to other people and learning experiences and just being able to adapt, because that's what this is. If there's anything COVID taught you, especially in the medical world, is you got to be able to adapt. Because if you don't, your company's going to die and it's going to go off and your business will stop. So just continue to keep pushing. If you guys are watching this, it's a great career. I have no regrets on anything. I absolutely love this. 3 months in, I'm just excited to wake up every single day to go to work. I'm just excited. I pinch myself every single day and I'm I can't believe I have this amazing job that helps people, that makes a difference in someone's life and allows me the autonomy and the freedom that I have to, run a business and be a part of a great company. It's just so much fun. So if you guys are watching this, I highly recommend medical device sales. I never have regretted it. Just understand it is a lot of work. It is a lot of learning. It doesn't get any easier. It's a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. But it's what you signed up for, and it's all part of the game. It's all part of the fun. Excuse me. So I just wanted to be real with you guys and kind of give you, again, my journey of, before I was a personal trainer and then breaking in, and I give you guys my 3 month, and I want to give you guys my 3 weeks, and now I want to give you guys my 3 month, and again, just continue, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, and just share my experience, because I made this because I want to help everybody listening. I want you guys to, I didn't have this resource, and I just hope this helps somebody. I want to share my journey and what I'm learning, and because maybe I just help one person and then it's worth it to me. So if you guys reach out to me, I absolutely love it. I get calls and stuff on LinkedIn. Again, I think I've told you, apparently LinkedIn has me locked. I'm learning on how to get me unlocked, but please connect with me on there. You guys connect, I add everybody. You can message me, we can jump on a call. I'm always happy to help any way I can. Again, this is an amazing field. I just want everybody to be able to break in as well. So reach out to me on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you guys can reach out to me on, I have an Instagram, New to Medical Device Sales. Also, I still use my Instagram for my fitness, JM Fitness or Jacob McLaughlin Fitness. If you guys are on YouTube, you guys can also watch my YouTube if you guys are listening on the podcast and vice versa. But again, guys, I really appreciate every single one of you just taking time to watch this and listen to me. It means a lot. I appreciate all the support and everybody who gives me feedback and just reaches out to me. It's just so much fun to interact with all of you. And I know if you're watching this, you're committed and you're ready to take it to the next level. And I just want to help any way I can and just give any advice that I can help, or give any advice that can help you guys. So hope you guys have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week. Appreciate you guys all the time. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.